Morning everyone! Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Payawin Urban Sorsogon. Today is August 8, 2025. Scheduled for today's opening bids is for the contract 25FL0115, construction of multi-purpose building, military camp, Barangay Fabrica, Barcelona, Sorsogon, Barangay Fabrica, Barcelona, Sorsogon. Present here today for today's opening bids are the following: Levi Pura Jr., Back Chairman.
Present.
David Gallia, Back Vice Chairman. Erwin S. Encenares, Back Member.
Present.
Joanna C. Calagos, Back Member. Glenn L. Inicio, Back Secretariat. Jessalou R. Aguilan, DPWH Head. Ariel B. Pancho, Back Secretariat. Nathaniel B. Alegre, Back Secretariat. Maricel B. Isico, Back Secretariat. Rebecca D. Nabalan, Back Secretariat. Diani Albay IT. Rubian P. Yao, Back Secretariat. Mr. Chair, for today's opening bids, meron na po tayong quorum and wala po present na contractor here today.
Since the quorum was declared, this bid opening is now called to order.
Proceed na po tayo sa ating agenda. Ang opening of bids for 25FL0115. Contract name, construction of multi-purpose building, military camp, Barangay Fabrica, Barcelona, Sorsogon. Project location is at Barcelona, Sorsogon, Barangay Fabrica. Approved budget for the contract is 9,900,000 pesos only, with a contract duration of 148 calendar days. Mr. Chair, for this contract po, this back office received 10 bids manually and wala po nag-submit through our electronic submission of bids. May I request the back secretariat to please retrieve the bids from the bids. Mr. Chair, ito po ang kailang bids, properly labeled, sealed, and signed. Prior po sa submission ng bids, check na po ng back secretariat kung properly labeled, sealed, and signed ang kanilang bids. May I request the back secretariat to please open the bids. While they're opening the bids, I will read out the names of the contractors who submitted their bids for 25FL0115. First, we have Oriol Construction, Tunangi Albay. Vilmore Construction and Supply, Legazpi City. Tangent Construction, Sasuban. Samarina Construction, Daragay. Magda Construction and Supply, Incorporated, Daragay. Green Heights Construction Supply, Legazpi City. SBM Builder, Iligan City. Aladrax Construction and Supply, Brgy. RSH4 Construction, Daragay. Kaila Construction Supply, Legazpi City. Mr. Chair, proceed na po tayo sa opening ng legibility and technical documents. While we are opening the technical documents, I request the back secretariat Please simultaneously process the eligibility through our civil works application. First bidder po natin, Tangent Construction. Okay, ako ba checklist?
Yes po.
Bid securing declaration, signed and authorized. Organizational chart for the contract. List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract, supported by statement of availability of key personnel, signed and key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and authorized. The nominated accredited project engineer is Daniel D. Ngaya. List of contractors with major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract. Signed. With attached proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Compliance with DO9. Affidavit of site inspection. Integrity privilege. Oriol Construction, walang PLBI. Bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. ICAM license. Organizational chart for the contract, signed. List of contractors, key personnel to be assigned to the contract, with their qualification data, signed. Supported by key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract. Their nominated accredited project engineer is Ian Vincent R. Aculi. Accredited. List of contractors major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract. Signed. Supported by proof of ownership of equipments. Statement of availability of equipment, signed and notarized. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Compliance with DO9. PDEP certificate of registration. Kaila Construction and Supply. Bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. Organizational chart for the contract. List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract, supported by certificate of employment of key personnel, signed and notarized. The nominated accredited project engineer is Amy Jane M. Bueno. List of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, signed. Supported by a statement of availability of major construction equipment, signed and notarized, and proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Compliance with DO9. Bigmore Construction and Supply. Bid securing declarations, signed and notarized. Organizational chart for the contract, signed. List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their qualification data, signed. Supported by a statement of availability of key personnel, signed. And key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. Their nominated accredited project engineer, Ken Lloyd G. Arnoco. List of contractors major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, signed. With attached proof of ownership of equipments. And statement of availability of major construction and laboratory equipment pledged to the contract, signed. Okay. Proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Compliance with D9, affidavit of site inspection, integrity pledge. Sa Marina Construction, Daraga, Albay. Field job certificate of registration, bid securing declaration, signed and notarized, organizational chart for the contract, statement of availability of key personnel, signed, list of contractors' key personnel for the contract, signed, supported by key personnel's commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. Nominated accredited project engineer, Edu A. Alarba. Statement of availability of major construction equipment, signed and notarized. List of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, signed. Attached proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Magda Construction and Supply. Bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. Organizational chart for the contract, signed. Statement of availability of key personnel, signed and notarized. List of contractors' key personnel for the contract, signed. Supported by key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. They're nominated accredited project engineer, Manacho, Jonathan Manacho. Credited. Statement of availability of major construction equipment, signed and notarized. List of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, supported by a certificate of availability of equipment and proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Authority of signatory, IDs. Dream Heights Construction Supply. Bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. Organizational chart for the contract. List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract, signed. Supported by statement of availability of key personnel, signed, and key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. They're nominated accredited project engineer, Osino Dino G. Credited. List of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, signed, supported by statement of availability of equipment and proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Affidavit of site inspection, compliance with DO9, construction method, integrity code. Anadrax Construction and Supply. Bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. ISO certificate of registration. Organizational chart for the contract. List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract, signed. Supported by statement of availability of key personnel, signed, and key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. The nominated accredited project engineer, Jonathan D. San Juan. 1-8-2024. List of contractors major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract. Signed with attached proof of ownership of equipment. Integrity pledge, signed and notarized. Compliance with the DO9, signed and notarized. Affidavit of site inspection, signed and notarized. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized with bulletin. SBM Builder, bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. Organizational chart for the contract, signed. List of contractors, key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their qualification data, signed, supported by a certificate of availability of key personnel, signed and notarized, and key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. The nominated accredited project engineer is Delphine Rosselen. Accredited. List of contractors major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract. Signed, supported by a statement of availability of construction equipment and proof of ownership of equipments. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. RSHO Construction. Bid securing declaration, signed and notarized. Make-up license. Organizational chart for the contract. Statement of availability of key personnel. List of contractors, key personnel for the contract, signed with attached key personnel's affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, signed and notarized. Nominated accredited project engineer, Kitain Michael Dolor. Kitain. Q-U-I-T-A-I-N. DO-126-2024. Mark Michael Dolor. Nasa PLC, Kitain.
Parang detales, same person.
This would be different also.
Number 884. Yung ang lisensya mo, Kitain. 884. Pero ang lisensya mo, Kitain. Ano ba ang lisensya mo?
Leo. Kitain sa mga.
Matayo na ako dahil sa same person.
Statement of availability of equipment, signed. List of equipment owned or list other purchase agreement pledged to the contract, signed. With attached proof of ownership of equipment. List of minimum material testing equipment to be assigned to the contract, signed. With attached proof of ownership of equipment. Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized. Integrity pledge, signed. Okay. Mr. Chair, I have here with me the results of eligibility process to our civil work application. And upon careful evaluation, Mr. Chair, it was found that all 10 bidders passed eligibility and technical requirements. I move po to proceed with the opening of their financial proposal and declare all bidders passed.
Second the motion, Mr. Chair. Okay, with the concurrence of back members present today and after reviewing all the bids submitted for contract ID number 25FF0115, I hereby declare that all bidders have passed their eligibility and technical requirements. We will now proceed to the opening of their financial proposal.
Mr. Chair, proceed na po tayo sa opening ng financial documents. First financial documents, tangent construction. Bid form, bill of quantities, detailed estimate, summary of bid prices, summary of unit prices, cash flow with amount, 9,813,805 pesos and 67 centavos only. Wala pong discount na offer. Next, Oriol Construction. Bid form, bill of quantities, summary of bid prices, detailed estimate, summary of unit prices, cash flow with amount, 9,800,788 pesos and 94 centavos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. Kaila Construction and Supply. Bid form, bill of quantities, detailed estimate, summary of unit prices, summary of unit prices, cash flow with amount, 9,662,732 pesos and 33 centavos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. Binmore Construction and Supply. Bid form, bill of quantities, detailed estimate, summary of bid prices, summary of unit prices, cash flow with amount, 9,804,131 pesos and 60 centavos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. Sa Marina Construction, Barga Albay. Bid form, bill of quantities, summary of bid prices, detailed estimate, summary of unit prices, cash flow with amount, 9,799,011 pesos and 46 centavos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. Magda Construction and Supply Incorporated. Bid form, bill of quantities, failed estimate, summary of bid prices, summary of unit prices, cash flow. The amount, 9,786,437 pesos and 83 centavos only. Wala pong discount na offer. Dream Heights Construction Supply. Bid form. Bid proposal. Bill of quantities. Detailed estimate. Summary of bid prices. Summary of unit prices. Cash flow. The amount, 9,677,452 pesos and 30 centavos. Aladrax Construction and Supply. Bid form. Summary bid prices. Bill of quantities. Detailed estimate. Summary of unit prices. Cash flow. The amount, 9,859,905 pesos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. Next, SBM Builder. Bid form. Bill of quantities. Detailed estimate. Summary of unit prices. Summary of bid prices. Cash flow with amount, 9,803,295 pesos and 72 centavos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. RSHO Construction. Bid form. Bill of quantities. Summary of bid prices. Detailed estimate. Summary of unit prices. Cash flow with amount, 9,795,368 pesos and 72 centavos only. None, wala pong discount na offer. 938, Canada. The Chair will finish opening the bids scheduled for today.
Reminders. All submitted bid documents will be evaluated. The head of the procuring entity has the authority to reject bids, declare bidding failure, or not award contracts under specific conditions outlined in Section 41 of the IRR of Fabrica 184. For the compliance under Section 32, members of the Bids and Awards Committee, staff, secretariat, technical working group, and observers are prohibited from communicating with bidders regarding bid evaluation until the notice of award is issued. However, the Factory Secretariat can request written clarifications from bidders regarding their bids, and all responses must also be in writing. Meron po pong tanong? Since we have no more matters to discuss, this bid opening is now adjourned. Thank you.